This is the first time I'm actually doing an ESO game here on my channel. So anyways, I want to give a brief thing here. This is a vlog. So, I did say there were some changes coming along during the time. I just did a video just recently on exclusivity for Twitch. Um, First time doing this on YouTube. With ESO. I do most of the crown crate drops here, but I want to take a moment here to explain to what's been going on my channel. Some of you who saw my Yamato battleship, which was supposed to be posted up, and yours truly kind of forgot. But anyways, this is a whole new adventure. Kind of figured I want to bring this out in the light. I did want to mention that there were other things that were going to come over within the new year, where I see myself again, basically in a very unusual location. So this is not really a channel that is basically going to be, for an 18 over crowd. The thing is that we're coming down to more of a very interesting on my model building series. Some of you may know that I every now and then, time to time, I normally do some video games on here along with my model building series. I know there's not very much. I know there's been some people who've been getting like a little bit pissy. I haven't been posting a lot on YouTube here. As you can tell, things have been quite interesting as far in terms of ESO. For me, it's been a very interesting year. Just to let you know that, yeah, I know people have been asking me what's going on with my new home and when I'm moving. Of course, everything right now is in progression. But that doesn't change the fact that I'm actually, right now, doing some stuff up on Twitch. This is the first time I'm actually on ESO, doing ESO on YouTube. And I want to touch up on some things about certain games that are coming out. I've been playing a different MMO. I normally do the Twitch drops for ESO on Twitch. I don't do them here on YouTube. And recently I kind of saw some things that had happened during the stream. For one, shout out to Nefez. I know he had a lot going on this year. I know he was somewhat quitting from ESO, but and rightly so. I will have to be honest about some things myself. The content. Now, a lot of us who have done or still doing content or doing the crate drops on Twitch, there are some content creators that have done, members of the stream team of ESO have done majority of the content streaming or the content creating, and some have actually quit doing the majority of the content and moved on to a different game. Others are still doing the content. Yours truly is one of them who's still doing content for ESO on Twitch. However, I deal with more in-game. Lately, the in-game aspect of it now to me has basically falling to a halt. I've done a lot, in the past. Like, I've been playing ESO now, I think, for well over 8 years. And I can vouch on some things on what veterans are basically feeling or have already left due to the recent changes. My personal favorite one is that there are new people who are coming in, into ESO, which I've noticed, which has been an interesting turn of events. Not many people realize it, but when you get to that point, you start seeing new faces or new people. You really don't see, you don't really see where everything is going, other than, new faces, new people. And I want to talk about something here that I don't normally would talk about, but in my guild, okay, there was one of my guild members. Actually, I do have a trial team, and what has happened during the time of my trial, with the trial team, one of the members of my trial team has to wait about a week. And I'm not saying this is a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, I'm in between the road here about this. Lately, the gifting of crown crates, yeah, I mean, you could still gift. However, you have to fill out a permission. I guess supposedly Zos has it now, where you fill out a permission form, or more, it's like a waiting list, and they'll let you know within a week before you can even gift a crown crate, or even crowns in general. The other thing that has been noticed is that this year, I mean, there's an idea, and hopefully Zos, and I hope others from Zos can actually relate to what I'm about to say here. It's nothing bad. It's something that I've noticed. So we had a thing back in October. We had the Witches Festival. And today, or during the week of the New Life Festival, I've noticed that some of the stuff is still the same from the Witches Festival. Nothing happened. The other thing that has been a major change, and which is very interesting, is we get to a New Life Festival, which now it's considered a passive, supposedly. My thoughts about the Brita's mug you would normally get from Brita during the New Life Festival is no longer an active boon. What I mean is, a lot of people have tried to use it, thought they were going to get XP out of it, but what you realize is that when you go into your mementos now, it's no longer considered something that's really active. And I think what it comes down to, you basically have to rely on your XP scrolls, Sigic Ambrosia, and which is really disheartening. But at the same time, I can see that Zos had made some changes or implemented changes during prior to the last two updates. Now we have the new crafting stations, which others kind of wish that you could buy them rather than using the crafting writs. But I think, in all fairness, for now, this is a new item. You gotta remember, though, at some point they will sell them into the Crown Store, so you can buy them. Unfortunately, right now, they're still new, so they're going to be part of the crafting writs until otherwise noted. Other things that have been taking place during that time frame, it has been noticeable. Well, and I'm going to say this in light. The thing I've noticed, the majority of the people that were doing certain dungeons, ones that were, for an example, I think what really gets me sometimes are the speedrunners. And I know there's veterans out there who play ESO, or still do play ESO, but understand what's being said here is that some of the speedrunners, I'll be perfectly honest, that anybody who speedruns a normal dungeon, it's not veteran, you don't get a death, no death run, you really don't get an achievement for that, just by doing a normal dungeon speedrunning. But I also noticed that there's some new players coming into the game, which basically are new. They're not really speedrunners. They're not using Smurf accounts, nothing of that nature. And I've noticed that there's been some new players, some new changes. But at the same time, I think what hurts for us, I mean, it's awesome to see these new changes, but at the same time, I think we, as veteran players, those who have been playing, 8+ years, know exactly what I'm going to get at here. And it's not the changes that are happening; it's also the things that are supposed to be happening on in Cyrodiil. As far as the PvPing goes, now the whole thing I find interesting about PvP. And this kind of goes back to what my guild members and we had talked about this, and CoGM or two I have. We were speaking about the officers and I were speaking about, and I think the PvP, it's been neglected for so long. I get, there's a population issue, or I shouldn't say population issue, but there's an issue with the PvPing, even though it's been neglected for so long. I think there's also a thing where a lot of PvPers have gotten like tired of. I shouldn't say. Oh, well, let me rephrase that. Not a lot of PvPers have gotten tired of it, but some have gotten kind of fed up with the idea that you have people who go in, like, they wear sets that are basically a little bit too. I guess what I say is, like, they kind of make their own sets where they don't want to, like, die in PvP, and it goes back to a lot of other content creators who have mentioned this about between Daggerfall and Eldmary, Dominion character, people who are in that faction. And I think the worst thing that can ever happen, like, there's always finger pointing in PvP that, oh, Eldmary Dominion faction is cheating, Daggerfall is cheating. Even though I'm an Ebonheart, okay. Now I know some people may think that, well, you guys are no different, but Ebonheart doesn't really cheat, but we generally tend to make things interesting by basically sending those who actually cheat and from other factions. Yeah, I guess some people might think that I might be harsh about it, or I might be like not being honest about it here, but don't want to sugarcoat something that you shouldn't sugarcoat, and I'm not gonna. But the thing is, I think that there's people in Eldmary and Daggerfall who are probably afraid of dying. And I have, like I said, I've played this game for so long, and me having my healer, which I'm on right now, I've seen a lot of amateur tactics being done more and more with the Plague Breakers and Dark Convergence. And any true veteran who has done endgame or has done PvP, keep in mind though, I have 2 healers. That's been a PvP healer, and then this one is a is a multitasking PvE PvP healer. So I know doesn't make sense why I have 2 different types of healers, but I kind of figured, what the hell. But going on in a state that, yeah, I get it. People are like mad because of the updates. People aren't happy because of the event. They're not doing anything new. And going back to what I said about like the New Life or the Witches Festival. Yeah, and people have a hard time with that. They are, people are getting tired of the events. They're coming up with the same drops and never really anything new to put out there. And I kind of felt like the Halloween festival, the Witches Festival, was actually kind of a ripoff. And why I say it's like you have other areas of it that are rip-off is that, let's take a gander here. I don't know if y'all seen it or anything, but I'm going to show you a prime example. I'm going to travel to Northern Elsewhere. I think the only thing that they have that's really worth getting, and I will show you momentarily because I'm going to travel there now, but I want to show you guys exactly what is a stamp on to what it is and point out what they could have done better. So what I'm going to do is we're going to leave here the Hall Lunar Champion. I want to show you guys something. I don't know if I may or may not have showed you, but it seems like there's hardly anything new in the way of for the festivities. Now, me being in the end game and seeing it all, the crown crates I get, like, you know, you're selling the crowns, you know, we have the crown discount this month, which is limited time, but it will go back to normal pricing as normal. So I'm going to go here real quick. Now I'm going to go to the Impresario. So I'm going to talk to her.
Treat with me. Look over my goods and give me a...
Now, these, I can kind of understand these little motifs right here. This one, okay, that's not too bad. I can deal with that. So as you're going along, I know some people are going to be like, you know, thinking I'm bitching about something. But anyways, the only thing I find interesting now, if we hit preview, this is the only, yeah, I know, I'm wearing the peacock skin, but neither here or there. But I want to show you the outfit, which is the only thing new. The thing I have a beef with, see, that's been there. But we have this mount. If you, well, let me get a little bit more over here real quick. So if we go and look, and we preview this item, now if you look at this mount that I was referring to in one of the other streams is a representation, or I should say more of a reskin of the cinch that you normally can get, and I'll show you what I'm talking about that bear. Now if I go into my collections, which should be into the mounts, and if I go all the way down to the heavyweights, now if I pull my Sentrat out, you can tell, I don't know if you guys can, but you can tell that this the Sentrat was from the basic Northern Elsewhere DLC. The problem with that is the bear is about the same height as this Sentrat is. Which, I mean, just make the tail shorter and there you go. Now, I know there's a lot of people that are like, well, they're trying to do something new and you're ridiculing and everything else, but the thing is, I think what I'm trying to say is they could have made a better mount. I think that an idea here maybe to push, Zos into a different direction, like on a mount, for like the Witches Festival or the holidays, is I think for the Witches Festival around Halloween, I think people should gather like event tickets, but they should get these collections to make a ghost, like for the Halloween one, for the Witches Festival, I think they should have a collection for where you can get a ghost mount. Or you get collections to get maybe a reindeer mount. You know what I mean? Something of a reindeer mount. And no, you don't count Indirks as a reindeer. But something kind of, something different. You need something different that's going to make people want to collect stuff. gather collections it's worth collecting. I mean, the one thing I actually found that was really worth it was the Doomchar Plateau, and I worked my butt off to get that one, and that was fun. But they need to, Zas, you guys need to like do something a little different with the mounts. I mean, if you guys don't want to do a ghost mount, but do a mount that is going to be worth getting. Because, I mean, there are people who could say, yeah, okay, I got a Sentrat, but even though you made a bear version, it's not going to be, it's not the same. It's kind of like you're just stamping a bear version of that size the same way the Sentrat was. But I kind of think that there should be other things a little bit more worth getting, and then trying to I guess what I'm trying to say is you want to get stuff that's a little bit more worth getting than anything. So that's just basically how I feel about it. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, if anybody has any suggestions what Zaz should do, please leave a comment down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And I have to be honest, I do have to humbly apologize for that thing. For like not saying like and subscribing. Because normally I don't really do a lot on YouTube, except just kind of bring in, my input a little bit. So, yeah. And plus I'm working with a new microphone. It kind of works a little bit better for me. Been having a lot of problems with using headsets, but anyways, it's just a thought. And if you guys want to see more content or anything of that nature, feel free to hit me up on the comment section down below. And if you feel that, other things should be done, or any ideas that what Zaz can do to improve their experiences, especially to keep their attention, that'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of awesome. And hopefully if Nefez is seeing this, or, give his take. I'm just curious, right real quick, I'm just curious of what Nefez's take would be if he actually saw this video, and what he would actually think that Zaz should do to keep the retention of the player base. Because, or something a little different, because I would love to hear from him and see what his feedback would be if had Zas do something different for ESO for the holiday events. And I think that would be kind of what I would feel. It would feel different if they did something different. You know what I mean? Like, had they do something a little bit different than just doing the repetitive stuff. But anyways, like I said, just a thought, so don't forget to like and subscribe, and hope to see you guys on another live stream, or, or so, wherever. But also, don't forget to check me out at Lady362 at twitchtv.com, or at Twitch. And usually I post up my content on Twitch. ESO, given the fact that this week I'm going to be on Twitch doing the ESO Crown Crate drops, so make sure to come in, watch for an hour, and receive the awesome rewards. And yeah, so I think that's all I can cover for today. So we'll be back again, probably within after the new year. I want to say happy holidays and happy new year to everybody. So till then, I am gonna sign off, and I catch you guys on the next little stream. Bye for now.